But and then she goes and fights Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
Done.
Done, and much like Inglourious Bastards, I want my scalps. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that kind of leads into Volume 2, which we now can say change her name from The Bride to Bellatrix Kiddo.
I thought it was Beatrix Kiddo. Beatrix Kiddo. Yeah.
I say Bellatrix. Bellatrix Lestrange, little Harry Potter right there.
Yeah, I don't know why they bleeped out her name in the first half of the movie. Was that so important that we don't know her real name?
It really didn't. I don't think it mattered. I think it was just because it was one thing Quentin Tarantino just felt like doing, and
like, what's her name? No, we're just gonna call her the Bride.
Even on IMDb, if you go and look up Volume 1, Uma Thurman's listed as the Bride.
Because that's what people know her
They
as.
don't even list her as Black Mamba.
No, they don't.
Which I figured they would, but they just list her as the Bride. They say she was the Black Mamba.
Well, that was the name of the character, because I have on the DVD of Kill Bill, I rented it, I don't own it, but I saw that when they were doing Pulp Fiction, in between takes, he would talk to Uma, and he said, alright, oh my god, great idea for my next movie, it's called Kill Bill. And she came up with this character called the Bride, and she said, what about the first scene of the movie? We see the bride, she's bloody and almost about to die, and Bill's got the gun right in her face.
And she goes, it's yours.
Yeah, and that was how they came up with Kill Bill. And then he wanted to do Kill Bill, but he couldn't because he had this whole opportunity to do Jackie Brown. He did Jackie Brown, then he came back and he did Kill Bill. And honestly, again, it was incredible. The movie opens up with her in black and white, obviously. I don't think he could do it in color. Or maybe he could have, I don't know. But she is completely, like, about to die. And then she's like, Bill, it's yours. And then, like, you're like, what the hell just happened? And this is Kill Bill.
Or how about the reflex of spitting? You know?
I'm trying to remember that.
When the cop goes and they're looking at her, and she spits in his face. He was like, she's not dead. Take her to the hospital. And that guy nurse comes in and is paying that guy to have sex with her, you know?
Oh,
and he goes, be careful, she has a spitting reflex. Like, what is that?
What did she do to him? Did she bite his tongue or bite his lip? It looked like she was biting his tongue.
Look, see, when I think back to it, I thought his lip, and then I saw him dead, and I'm like, since when does biting a lip kill someone? I understand the tongue. You can bleed out. But
yeah, I can see that. But
who wants to bite someone's tongue? That's disgusting.
And I love it when Ellie walks in, and to make sure that she's not faking it out, being comatose, she puts her finger right on her nose, see if she's still breathing. Again, these characters, they think. These are smart characters. They're not just cardboard cutouts. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, and just because she has an eye patch doesn't mean that she's a cardboard
cutout.
That
a red cross on her.
Yeah. and I love it. He's got his own Brian De Palma moment in here when she's laying in bed and the film cuts in half, and then we see what Ellie is. We see the bride still sitting there. That's Brian De Palma. He invented that. He's got his own De Palma moment in that, and you can see it plain in sight. And I love it when she wakes up and she's taking Buck and she's beating the shit out of him with the door. She's like, "Where's Bill? Where's Bill?" She just beats the shit out of him. That is great.
Now, I have to say, I want the pussy wagon.
Quentin is driving the pussy wagon.
He owns it.
He owns it.
He owns the pussy wagon.
I was listening to him. He was on Howard Stern recently talking about Django Unchained, and Howard asked him, he said, "Are you driving the pussy wagon?" He's like, "I own it. It's in my garage." Like when people will go by his house, they're like, "Yeah, Quentin lives here." You know?
There was I actually found out he owned it. I was on Reddit, and and someone said there was a post that said Quentin Tarantino says he owns the pussy wagon, and it goes on Google Maps, and it goes to his house. It's there. He was like, checks out. Like I want to remake the pussy wagon. I think that's such an awesome car. It's an awesome truck.
It is. Yeah.
But because it's just you see those keychains like the pussy wagon, and then
so easy to find in the parking garage.
I thought it was just a keychain when I first saw it. It was a pussy wagon, and I see it was like a truck. I'm like, that is an awesome truck.
Yeah.
That is an awesome truck.
And
she sits in the car for 13 hours trying to get her towing.
I love it when she's again more comedy. She's explaining O-Ren Ishii. I don't know why this was done as an anime. O-Ren's background. Is it because like Quentin just ran out of time, or maybe he felt it was too violent? I honestly think if he had all that violence in live action, it would have been NC-17.
That might have been why he did it. I mean, I kind of enjoyed it as that.
It was interesting to see. It
was done well, and I also think it was because that one part when she kills him, she's supposed to be an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah. That was...
And I mean, at the time, it could have been a little...
Pretty shocking, yeah.
But, I mean, that's it was good. It was great. It was done really, really well.
Mm-hmm. And after she explains all that, she's like, but all this can be accomplished if I can, I'm paraphrasing, if I can do this one hard task. Wiggle your big toe.
And it says there,
hard part's over.
I also love how, Quentin Tarantino lets you know. It's kind of like Ken Burns. How Ken Burns, his documentary, he goes, next scene.
He just...
Next scene. And Quentin does that. He goes, next scene, 1 month later, 4 years later.
He does. Well, here's the deal. I'm paraphrasing what Gene Siskel has said about him, the late Gene Siskel. He said that Quentin has talked about how much he loves certain scenes in certain movies, and what he does is throw one after another, and he just loves it because that's what he's. I heard that Samuel L. Jackson was on Inside the Actors Studio with James Lipton, and James Lipton asked him, "What is Quentin like when he's directing one of these movies?" And he's like, "I'll tell you what he's like." He says, "Okay, this scene. Here's what I want you to do. Do you remember this scene from this movie, and this scene from that movie, this scene from that movie? That's what this whole scene's going to be. That's what it's going to be." And he's like, "Action." And I was like, okay. And they do that. And if he gets really excited about a scene while the cameras are rolling, he'll just do this. Like, he'll get up and just go nuts.
I really want to meet him. I really do.
Who wouldn't? Literally, you could have hours and hours of discussions with this guy. Just go on. And he's talking about films that aren't even released in America. He's really big on, foreign films and stuff. Films I never even heard of. That I'm actually interested in seeing.
I mean, you kind of tell the way he does subtitles.
Yeah. Yeah, Inglourious Basterds,
yeah. I love subtitle movies. I think they're great.
Me too.
I love watching them.
In fact, that was one of the things I was a little bit turned off by Inglourious Basterds, but by 10 minutes in, I was actually into it,
I've always enjoyed movies with subtitles, I think it's an experience. It's reading, but, I don't know how...
But you're thinking!
And you're able to do it. You're able to read, but you're also at the same time able to watch the movie, but... he's really good at doing it to the point where you're enjoying. You don't mind that you're reading. Mm-hmm. You don't. Like in Inglourious Basterds and Kill Bill, they did it when she goes to the sword maker. Mm-hmm. And she's talking in Japanese to him
to get a Hani Hantoro sword. I think it's called.
Yeah, and then the big part when she's talking to the Sifu and he's talking he's speaking another language. I really don't remember what it is, but he's good at doing it. Mm-hmm. It's to the point where you're not annoyed. It's just it flows.
And that kick-ass music.
He's so good at picking music.
I love it. I want the Pulp Fiction soundtrack. I want the soundtracks for all of this movies. I love that. I didn't know that came from Kill Bill because every trailer uses that guitar solo. I had no idea that was from Kill Bill. No idea. And
Django even has amazing music.
Yeah, Django's got it too.
Django has rap. And it's
got Tupac Shakur in that. I didn't think that.
It's Civil War, with a spin of Western in there, which is what's his name? Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious. He bashed Quentin Tarantino on his use of the N-word.
Yeah, and he
never saw the movie.
He never saw it?
He did not see
Oh my god, you can't judge him.
Right.
He's a filmmaker. That's like film 101. Never judge a movie until you see it.
And he might have seen it by now. I'm not sure.
Probably. Who knows?
Spike Lee, maybe you have.
Yeah.
But at the time he said it, he didn't see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how I segued into that or why it was even relevant. It just popped in my head. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know what said that saved me here. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I got off track. But back to the music.
Yeah.
This is why. This is why I segued into it. I remember. Mm-hmm. Okay. Quentin Tarantino was getting a lot of crap. And I think it was from Spike Lee. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Someone was giving him crap.
It's not just him. It's a lot of people. Either you love him, you like him, or you hate him.
But the reason was they said he turned the Civil War slavery into a Western.
It wasn't all of a Western. I actually went into this movie thinking it was going to be a Western. The whole slavery thing didn't even come into my head until I saw the movie.
But I don't think people understand that the Wild Wild West there would have been slavery. I don't think these people are realizing that if you go to a southern town during World War II. Oh my goodness!
Not World War II.
During the Civil War,
or in this case, prior, 2 years before the Civil War.
You know, the Civil War and prior. They would have had a Western feel to it. They were riding horses.
Yeah.
They were dirt. If you went to like towns like that,
I never thought of it like that.
You know, I don't think people
realize
I
never thought of it like that. That's true.
I'm not even crap for being a Western, but Quentin Tarantino was really good making sure his facts were straight. The judges that he named, he name dropped, were actual judges.
Yeah.
Like, he's very, very careful on what he does, and I don't think people realize that. They're giving him crap for these Western and use of the N-word. Do they think the N-word wasn't used back then, and they're just mad that it was being used in, like, modern society?
Because here's the thing. I found out Leonardo DiCaprio had a hard time doing that, which, you know, I don't blame him. I mean, it's supposed to be. Jamie Foxx even said it's supposed to be tough to saying that. Cause even in this,
it's a respect thing.
In this day and age, it's a hard thing to say. You really can't say it. But the thing is, people threw that word around like it was like we throw the word like. We say that word so many times we don't even say it. Like when we get up in class and to say something, we say that. How many times do you say that word?
And I don't even know where that comes from.
We just say that all the time, and
I don't know if that's an accent thing around here or if people say
I don't know, but here's what shocks me about it. They said it so much that it. I don't know. It's I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm thinking of what I was going to say. Crap! I forgot what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought.
Well, we should probably get back to Kill Bill anyway.
Yeah, we probably should. We'll get to Django eventually.
Yeah, we'll get Django. And let me tell you, when we get to Django, we're going to get to Django.
Yeah, because that's the one they're all waiting to hear. So yeah, Kill Bill 1 and 2. In my opinion, here's the thing. Kill Bill. The reason why I like Volume 1 so much, the first half of the movie, is there's not a lot of answers. There's a lot of questions. That makes it a lot more interesting. Plus, it's a lot more violent than Volume 2. When you get to Volume 2, it's a lot of explanation. And it's a lot of, like, this happened, therefore this happened.
You get a lot more into the wedding, too.
You get a little bit more into that in the beginning, but then you get a little bit more into Bud and Bill, why they're brothers, and how they really feel about that. Bud, who I think has...
There's kind of a mistrust there, too.
Yeah, Bud, who I think has one of the most famous lines in the movie, that girl deserves her revenge and we deserve to die. I think that's the most famous line in the movie. But the thing with that is, I can't really go into much detail about it because you haven't seen the ending. I don't want to ruin it for you. But those of you who have seen the ending, you know what I'm talking about. I really thought it could have ended a little bit better. But then again, you know, it was a simple idea for a movie, a woman who wants revenge.
Right.
So it's going to have a simple ending, no bullshit. Yeah, but yeah, as far as Kill Bill goes, I mean, I think the whole scene with the Crazy 88s is the House of Blue Patches. That is like the greatest scene in the movie.
It is. It's the best scene in the whole movie.
That's great. I mean, you thought for anyone who hasn't seen it, you thought Pulp Fiction was violent. Wait till you see this.
Okay, here's a scene that I was cringing during. Okay.
Yeah.
I have this horrible fear of being in a coffin. Even when I die, I'm scared to be in a coffin. I do not like the idea of being buried under dirt. When I see Bud put her in that coffin and she's underground there, I was freaking. I was like, I don't know what I would do if I was in that. And then it goes in the whole backstory of the whole punch, you know? And
good idea, but I didn't buy into that because honestly, how could she crawl through all that soil? I know it's a movie, but how?
That too, when that happened, I was like, if she punches that, all that dirt's gonna come in and she's gonna die.
Yeah, that's it. And she's got a wound in her chest because he shot her. Like it gets a little bit corny there, but then it goes straight into kick-ass mode.
I felt that part of the movie. I was like. I felt I was in the moment in that movie because I'm just like, I don't know how I'd get in there. If that happened to me, I'd be freaking out. I'd probably cry and go to sleep until I died. Because he's bound up too, and
I just love the whole story behind Already Shahi.